There's only one apex predator in the WWE. And I'm sorry, guys, it ain't Randy Orton. What's up, people? This is the Nature Girl 30 here, and as you cannot see, it's actually Tuesday morning, and by the time this actually gets up, it's going to probably be Thursday because I'm having internet issues. But it's not really so much going to be a review of Raw because there wasn't enough matches to actually have a review. But the matches that actually did happen weren't all that bad. They were, but starting off Raw was pretty cool. The fact that Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre actually had a match. It wasn't all that bad. It was pretty good. And it was nice to see Drew McIntyre out there actually wrestling for once and having some airtime. But like I said in my intro, Randy Orton is no longer the apex predator, and it's obvious that that Mark Henry is going to have a huge title reign. And honestly, it's kind of I really don't understand why Mark Henry is even there. The fact that he had what he did both on SmackDown and Raw, and he still has a championship, let alone has a job, really does shock me. The fact that he was not fired, but who knows? There's probably somebody behind that, more than likely. The Divas match actually was the shortest match ever, and it was pretty much, it was a given that Kelly kind of went psycho and well, not really psycho. She kind of went ballistic, started screaming and beating the crap out of Beth Phoenix. And honestly, I really hope that she doesn't get the title back really early. I hope that she just is going to be a few months before she gets the title back or has somebody else get a chance because I'm sick to death of seeing Eve becoming a tag along. She's been a tag along ever since Crime Time. She's been every time that somebody gets popular, you see Eve. Like with Crime Time, you see Eve. With Kelly, you see Eve. When is she gonna try to build back her own career? Why she gotta be a tag along? Come on, dude. But anyway, I'm not ranting about that. But as for the battle royal that they had before the main event, I'm never really interested in the battle royals because it always seems so put together. It's a given that they're gonna do the heels versus the faces, and it's just. I'm not really so much interested in those because it always has a predictable outcome. But pretty much the entire night was centered around the giant coup that John Laurinaitis and David Otunga tried to create against Triple H to try to get him out of power. And that's pretty much what the whole theme was tonight. Trying to get rid of Triple H. And did it work? Yeah, it did. It worked in probably the most surprising way ever. I've never ever expected to see not only the heels walk out, but you expected to see the heels walk out. The faces walked out as well. Booker T walked out. Surprisingly, Jerry Lawler didn't even have his back. He walked out. You kind of surprised. You really weren't surprised to see the refs walk out because the refs were tired of being terrified. But John Laurinaitis did a really good job in pulling this coup off. And not to mention the fact that nobody, for some reason, didn't dawn on anyone that it's him that's pulling this whole thing off. But more than likely, everybody understands that it is somebody pulling the strings, and with Triple H there, it's going to always be bad. So, Triple H is gone, which is kind of a bummer and kind of left a sour taste in my mouth because I don't want Johnny Ace taking over. As calculated as it is, as calculated as he was to pull off this coup, and as excellent as it was to pull off this coup, which I'm not going to lie, it was completely brilliant. I don't want him to be the COO because he doesn't have enough personality to pull it off. He's as dull as a piece of paper. And I've already explained why I described a piece of paper thing, but he's literally dull as a piece of paper. He has no personality. He's completely dry. Really, I don't want another Vince McMahon. I don't want another neo Vince McMahon era. I just want something totally different. I want somebody out there that's not afraid to go over the lines, that's not afraid to get in people's faces like Triple H did. But the thing is, Triple H has an enormous ego, and he's going to put himself in the center of everything, which sucks as well. And with Raw, there hasn't been a really good match because everybody has a giant ego. But Triple H is possibly going to be gone. Everyone walked out. The cameraman walked out. everyone walked out. The only people that were behind him was the crowd. They were the only people that were behind him. And it's really sad to see Triple H go, but it's really good to bring the attention back to the wrestlers, because the wrestlers work their butts off every single day for the crowd, work their every single day for that company. They deserve attention. But as for a review rating tonight, it's difficult to give it a rating because there wasn't enough matches and it was all centered around this coup. The way that it was set up really was great, but it's difficult to give it a rating based only on that theme. I wanted to give it a rating throughout the whole thing overall, but there wasn't enough matches to give it a rating. So I'm not going to give it a rating for today. By the time this gets up, it's going to probably be Thursday. Like I said before, I'm having internet issues, so please work with me. But anyway, it's a really sad time to see Triple H go, because I am hoping that when Johnny Ace takes over, it's not going to suck. But it will. It is what it is. What you going to do? This is Nature Girl 30, signing off. Peace out, people.